Since the beginning of the Third Millennium, there's been a railroad across the Himalayas to the roof of the world. The Qinghai Express that connects China with Tibet. The highest railway line on Earth travels through breathtaking and fascinating landscapes, from Golmud to Lhasa. Our journey begins at a height of 4,767 meters above sea level, on a remote high plateau that lies within an earthquake zone and often encounters severe snowstorms. The train winds its way higher and higher from one high plateau to the next, up snow-covered mountains and into the home of the gods. In 2001, construction work began in Golmud. Around 930 passengers occupy the train's 16 carriages that are well furnished throughout. In the future, a deluxe version is also planned. In the train, the thin mountain air goes unnoticed. That's because the carriages are built by Bombardier and therefore have the same comfort value as passenger aircraft. From an altitude of 3,000 meters, the carriages are supplied with oxygen, and if necessary, passengers can be given their own. For the tourists, this is a magnificent sight. But most of the passengers in the second-class carriages have seen it all before and simply want to get from A to B as soon as possible. Three American General Electric diesel engines pull the train at 11,000 PS safely and securely across the Tibetan high plateau. With the new railway line, Tibet's previously inaccessible regions have now become exposed to the influences of the outside world. The dangers of earthquake, permafrost, shifting sand dunes, high plateau, and unpredictable yak herds made the planning of this route extremely problematical. On the 1st of July 2006, the 85th anniversary of China's Communist Party, the Tibet Line was inaugurated. A technical masterpiece. 675 bridges and numerous elevated lines cover a total of 160 kilometers, the longest of which measures 11.7 kilometers. Friendly conductors explain the timetable, while the air-conditioned train passes through further beautiful scenery. Of the 45 train stations between Golmud and Lhasa, 38 are unmanned. Now we have arrived at an altitude of more than 5,000 meters. We are in the autonomous region of Tibet. And suddenly, it appears. Nam Tso, Heaven Lake, the second largest and highest saltwater lake in China, 70 kilometers long and 30 wide. Unexpectedly, we stop at the small and unmanned Diwu Ma station. The railway line winds down on stilt bridges via wide bends into a sheltered valley, past herds of yak. The train gradually approaches the main town of this region. Each train stops at Nagpur station. The capital of this district has a long history, because in 1718 the Manchu army was defeated here by both the Tibetan and the Mongolian armies. This large train station is in stark contrast to the nearby yurt camp that stands outside the town's gates. The train crosses the fertile landscape. The huge stilt bridges bring to mind the permafrost that has frozen the ground up to 30 meters deep. This factor presented an enormous challenge to the creators of the railroad. The workforce was drawn from each province of China, and for 5 years they worked under the harshest conditions. Along with the Great Wall of China and the Three Gorges Dam, the Tibet Railroad is one of China's greatest structures. A monumental achievement. This ambitious project has been extremely successful, and the highest point on Earth crossed by a railroad is 255 meters higher than the Andean Railroad in Peru. For the few remaining nomads, little has changed. They continue to roam with their animals and tents across the immense plains. When considering this incredible railroad, it's clear that its planners also had the environment and ecology in mind. The stilt routes look as though they were simply stuck into the mountain slopes high above the Yangtze River by some kind of mythical giant. The struggle against the harsh landscape was one with much effort. The day comes to an end as the mountains cast long shadows across both valley and railway line. After the last large bridge over the Qichu, the Happy River, we've almost reached our final destination. Tired but content, the passengers alight from the train. The way leads out through a large and welcoming entrance hall in a huge square that is contained within the huge station building. We arrive at our final destination, Lhasa, the holy city and place of the gods. The capital and also the largest city in Tibet, a land that has been part of China since 1951. Despite the influence of China on Tibet, it has continued to be a theocracy, and Lhasa is still the heart of the world, with a remarkable monastery culture and amazing scenery. Mighty and towering above, Potala, one of the most extraordinary palaces in Asia. The mystically illuminated train station is also a marvelous sight. And it's for certain that the Tibet Qinghai Express will turn yet more dreams into reality.